Hello, my name is Rachel Gentry, and today I'll be doing a micronutrient analysis of the blood type diet. And the blood type diet is described as health and nutrition recommendations based on your unique genetic individuality. So the objectives for my presentation are listed on this slide. I'll be doing a summary of the blood type diet. I'll give a meal plan overview for each blood type that's listed. And I'll also do a micronutrient analysis of all of the different blood type diets. And then we'll finish with my conclusion and my references. So what is the blood type diet? The blood type diet was designed by a naturopathic physician named Peter J. D'Adamo. And he says that your blood type is what determines your food reactions and your susceptibility to illness. So in his book, Eat Right for Your Blood Type, he provides meal plans that are based on the 4 different blood types and says that if you eat according to your blood type, you can prevent illness and reduce inflammation. So the 4 blood types he talks about are blood type A, which is agrarian, blood type B, which is nomad, blood type AB, which is enigma, and blood type O, which is hunter. And we'll talk about why they're called these names throughout the presentation. And I do want to point out that in his book, Dr. Adamo does provide very extensive lists for each blood type of foods that should be avoided and foods that should be eaten. And he also talks about weight loss. So I'm going to be focusing on the foods that he recommends to eat and avoid specifically for weight loss. So we're going to start with blood type A, the agrarian diet. And according to Dr. D'Adamo, he says that blood type A people have a sensitive digestive tract, but a tolerant immune system. And he also says that people with A blood type will store meat as fat because they have low stomach acid. He also says that dairy provokes insulin reactions and that wheat can lead to muscle acidity. So because of that, he recommends a vegetarian diet with fresh, pure, and organic foods. So when we're talking about weight loss, the foods that are allowed on the blood type A diet include vegetable oils, soy foods, vegetables, nuts and seeds, and pineapple. And the foods to avoid are meat, dairy products, kidney beans, lima beans, wheat, and oranges. So looking at a sample menu, for breakfast we have water with lemon juice, cornflakes with soy milk and blueberries, grapefruit juice, and coffee or herbal tea. For lunch, there's Greek salad, an apple, a slice of sprouted wheat bread. For a snack, there's 2 to 3 rice cakes with honey, 2 plums, and green tea or water. And then for dinner, there is tofu stir fry and coffee or herbal tea. So when we look at a nutrient summary of the blood type A diet, we see that vegetables and fruits do meet the recommended amounts of intake, but grains, dairy, and protein are all very low on this diet. And looking at the vitamin analysis, we can see that there is not enough vitamin D, vitamin E, or choline on an average meal plan. There is also not enough calcium, potassium, iron, magnesium, selenium, or zinc. And when we're looking at the micronutrients of concern, I do want to point out that all of these diets have some common micronutrients of concern, so I'm going to talk about those collectively at the end. And throughout the presentation, I'll be talking about specific micronutrients for each individual blood type diet. So for blood type A, we have choline, selenium, and zinc that are all too low. And we can see here that the functions of these micronutrients include things like energy metabolism, neurotransmitter synthesis, function as an antioxidant, growth, reproduction, immunity, and night vision. And subsequently, deficiency of these micronutrients can lead to growth failure, kidney failure, physiological stress, impaired wound healing, and fatigue. So the food sources of these micronutrients include a lot of meat products as well as some wheat and dairy. And so you can see that eliminating these food sources from this diet is probably what leads to the deficiency of these micronutrients. Now we're going to talk about blood type B, which is the nomad diet. So for the nomad diet, Dr. D'Adamo says that this one has the most flexible dietary choices. He says that people with blood type B have a tolerant digestive system and they're resistant to severe diseases. But he does point out that gluten lectin leads to weight gain, so he recommends that blood type B diets remove any wheat. Now, when he's recommending foods for weight loss, he allows green vegetables, lean red meat, seafood, liver, eggs, dairy, and licorice tea. But he does recommend people to avoid corn, wheat, buckwheat, lentils, peanuts, sesame seeds, shellfish, and tomatoes. So for a sample menu for blood type B, we have a breakfast of 1 slice of Essene bread, 1 poached egg, and green tea. For lunch, there's a Greek salad, a banana, and more herbal tea. For a snack, there's a scoop of low-fat cottage cheese with pear slices and herbal tea. And then dinner has a grilled lamb chop, steamed asparagus, steamed vegetables, and frozen yogurt. So this one's a little more liberal than blood type A, and that includes some meat, but it's still lacking in certain nutrients. And when we look at the food group analysis, we see that refined grains are extremely low on this diet, or the grains group in general. And dairy is also very low. Protein is probably about 60%, and whole fruit probably reaches maybe about 85%. In fact, the vegetable group is the only one that reaches that 100% recommended intake. So looking at the vitamin analysis for blood type B, you can see that there are several deficiencies, including vitamin B6, vitamin D, vitamin E, thiamine, niacin, and choline. And for minerals, calcium, potassium, iron, magnesium, and zinc are also deficient. So this list is a little bit longer than the other one, but when we look at the micronutrients of concern for type B, you can see that they all have a variety of functions, including metabolism, red blood cell synthesis, neurotransmitter synthesis, appetite and nervous system maintenance, and skin maintenance, as well as growth, reproduction, immunity, and night vision. So deficiency of these micronutrients can lead to things like anemia, kidney stones, growth failure, cardiac complications, muscle pain and weakness. There's also chances for diarrhea, skin rash, impaired wound healing, fatigue, and growth failure. And so this is a pretty extensive list of food sources for these vitamins and minerals. And some of them are allowed on the diet, but there's not quite enough of them that are in order to provide these micronutrients adequately in the blood type B diet. So next we're talking about blood type AB, which is the Enigma diet. And this is pretty much a combination of the blood type A and blood type B diet. So Dr. D'Adamo says that blood type AB people have a sensitive digestive tract, and they have the low stomach acidity of blood type A's with the adaptation to meat that blood type B people have. However, he does say that the AB blood type is unable to metabolize meat properly, which means it causes them to gain weight. And he also says that wheat causes blood type AB people to have acidic muscles. So the foods allowed on blood type AB include tofu, seafood, green vegetables, kelp, dairy, alkaline fruits, and pineapple, while foods to avoid are red meat, kidney beans, lima beans, seeds, sweet corn, buckwheat, and wheat. So here's a sample menu for blood type AB. Breakfast is water with lemon juice, diluted grapefruit juice, a slice of Essene bread, 1 poached egg, and decaf coffee. For lunch, there's 4 ounces of sliced turkey breast, a slice of rye bread, Caesar salad, 2 plums, and a glass of herbal tea. And then for a snack, we have 4 ounces of low-fat yogurt with fruit and iced herbal tea. And dinner is tofu omelets, stir-fried vegetables, mixed fruit salad, and decaf coffee. So here's an overview of the food groups for type AB. Fruits do reach that 100% of recommended intake, and so does protein, but vegetables are a little low on this diet, and the grains and dairy on this diet are extremely low. So looking at the vitamin analysis for type AB, we see that it is deficient in vitamin B12, vitamin D, vitamin E, and thiamine. It is also low in calcium, potassium, iron, and magnesium. So when we're talking about the micronutrients of concern for type AB, we can see that they function for cellular synthesis, nervous system function, energy metabolism, appetite and nervous system maintenance. So without these micronutrients, there can be an signs and symptoms of anemia, fatigue, paralysis, cardiac complications, muscle pain and weakness, and mental confusion. And again, we see that the food sources of these micronutrients are those that are low in the type AB diet, including animal food sources, dairy, and whole grains. So finally, we're talking about blood type O, which is the hunter diet. And this food profile is just high protein. So according to the blood type diet book, type O diets have a hearty digestive tract, and they also have an overactive immune system. The book does say that they are intolerant to dietary and environmental adaptations, which means that their digestive tract is just similar to our early ancestors. According to the book, type O diets thrive on animal protein, and they do not adapt well to dairy or grains. He says that gluten is responsible for weight gain, and that lentils and kidney beans can lead to alkaline muscle tissue. He also says that people with blood type O have a tendency to have low thyroid hormone production, which can lead to hypothyroidism. So that kind of leads to the foods that are allowed and avoided. Foods that are allowed include kelp, seafood, iodized salt, liver, red meat, kale, spinach, and broccoli. While the foods to avoid are wheat, dairy, kidney beans, navy beans, lentils, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, and mustard greens. So looking at a sample menu for type O, it recommends a slice of toasted Essene bread with natural low-sugar fruit spread, 6 ounces of vegetable juice, a banana, and green or herbal tea. For lunch, it recommends 2 to 4 ounces of organic roast beef, a spinach salad, apple or pineapple slices, and water or seltzer. And for a snack, we have sliced carrot and celery sticks, sliced fruit, with 2 rice cakes that have a drizzle of maple syrup. And then for dinner, there is lamb and asparagus stew, steamed broccoli, steamed artichoke with lemon juice, mixed fresh fruit, and seltzer or herbal tea. So here's the food group analysis of the type O diet. It does pretty well on vegetables, fruit, and protein, but we see that the grains group is just at 25%, and there is no dairy represented in this diet. So looking at the vitamins in this diet, we see that vitamin D and vitamin E are low, as is calcium, potassium, and iron. And the micronutrient deficiencies of type O are included in the consistent micronutrient deficiencies of this entire diet, so we will talk about those next. So here are the consistent micronutrient deficiencies for all 4 of the blood type diets. They include vitamin D, vitamin E, calcium, potassium, iron, and magnesium. Now, all of these micronutrients are necessary for bone health, cell membrane health, nerve transmission, muscle contraction, muscle health, red blood cell health, metabolism, and nerve transmission. And you can see that deficiency of these micronutrients can eventually lead to defective bone growth, anemia, leg cramps, weakness, neuromuscular excitability, hypotension, cardiac problems, muscle spasms, seizures, and hypokalemia. And so no matter what blood type you are, according to the blood type diet, you would generally be low in these micronutrients, which could eventually lead to these deficiency signs and symptoms. So ultimately, this diet does not really provide adequate micronutrient intake, which can lead to a series of problems. So in conclusion, the blood type diet is generally high in fruits and vegetables, which is a good recommendation. However, it does have very unbalanced food recommendations for each blood type, and some consistently underrepresented food groups include grains and dairy. So that leads to a lot of micronutrient deficiencies, which can lead to a variety of problems. So for that reason, I do not recommend the blood type diet as a nutritious diet. So these are my references, and that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching.